Hello everybody, how are you all? Welcome back to my channel. Today I share with you on how to grow green onions, also known as scallions, a very easy perennial plant or vegetable that you can grow in your small backyard garden or container garden. So let's get started. Green onions are amazing plants or vegetables that's very easy to grow in a pot, container, in ground, in your raised bed, garden, or really anywhere. You can grow them from seed or cuttings. So here I have some green onions here that I've soaked in the water that I've harvested the last time. And these are really very amazing because you can save the upper leaves, mix it with your from spring to fall. Green onions or scallions are very similar to spring onions and leeks. So this type of onion doesn't form or grow a bulb at the bottom, but it will give you generous amount of stalks or leaves, and it's very prolific. And you can grow them in sandy, moist and fertile soil, also very well drained, because if you plant them in a pot or soil that doesn't drain so well, they're very prone to root rot and fungi disease. I highly recommend to plant them in a well drained pot or soil. You can thin them after sowing when they're about like 2 to 3 inches or more with their heights. And since green onions are very forgiving and adaptable, you can even transplant them even when they're already mature. For watering, green onions doesn't like overwatered soil because I noticed their leaves starts to yellow, and this increase more pests and disease. So please do check first the top of the soil before you water them. Green onions, from my experience, love full sun, so I highly recommend to pick your location where it can get full sun. For fertilizer, you can use compost, cow manure, or even general fertilizer once or twice a month, as this is really very low maintenance. Some of my green onions that I scattered around my garden, I hardly really fertilize them, but they are really low maintenance plant. And I have planted my green onions with my beans intentionally and use it as a border for my leafy greens and also companion plants for my neighboring tomato plants, because they're really great in repelling certain pests in the garden. So I highly recommend. And during winter months or cold season, you can mulch them to protect your green onions or cover them, because it will going to be ready to grow again or sprout again in the next spring. Once planted, it will grow back each year. From my experience, they grow like at least like 3 years. Have you tried growing green onions or scallions? Please let me know in the comments section. Thank you. Let's go now to the most exciting part, which is harvesting. For harvesting, you can pull them with your bare hands or cut them with your scissors or knives, or cut the leaves so it will grow back again for a steady supply. And these green onions are really very prolific. You can harvest them in different stages, and during summertime this type of onions do bolt. It will flower, so you can harvest the flowers because bees really love to pollinate them, and it will give you plenty of seeds. And if you're curious how to attract lots of bees in your garden, they will give you more seeds and more harvest. I made a separate video for that. You can check it out later. You can harvest them while the stalks are still young. Put them in soups, salads, stews, and many more. You can save some few inches partly near the roots for planting again, and then put them temporarily in the water. This will work. You can even just soak them in water for future planting, or you can grow indoors. But I highly recommend to plant them while they're still fresh, because sometimes when you start indoors and then you just soak it in water, the water eventually has no nutrients in it. Oftentimes the green onions, they do rot. They will keep on growing roots in the water, and you need to change the water often. And I believe it will work for a couple of days, but after a while the roots will seek some nutrients, so the onions or the stalk will a little bit slow to grow if you will grow it in the water, unless if you're going to mix it with liquid fertilizer. Overall, these onions are really very easy to grow. I highly recommend it for any beginner gardener, and it's one of my most favorite onions to grow in my small backyard garden. The green onions can have pests and disease as well. I have experienced caterpillars munching on the leaves or inside the stalks, dumping off from too much water or rain, also root rot. And the more healthy your soil when you start to plant them, the better. And they're not picky. You can really grow it in sandy soil and they will be happy. So there you go, guys. That's how to grow green onions or scallions. Thank you for watching. If you want to watch more videos, I have a whole playlist there for you. Please check it out, and I'll see you again in the next video. Bye.